Hey, Brian Scalabrine, how we doing?
I'm doing well. You guys?
We're doing great. We have an important game to talk about tonight, which we certainly want to get to. But before we get to that, I'm sure you know how I'm going to open this interview. Your former teammate, Kendrick Perkins. Do we have to say, this is what he had, if you heard this is what he had to say.
Brian Scalabrine, Scal, is like, well, door's not just open for him to come back to the Celtic organization. Now, it's two things I took from there. One, Scal, who the are you? Right. You was the same motherfucker that when we won a championship was in street clothes, hurry up and went changed into your jersey. So once we started taking pictures, you could know that you was part of the team.
Okay, you can stop it right there. Scal, your response.
Yeah. Well, first of all, if anybody, and I really do feel sorry for anybody that actually believes that when the Celtics, during the midst of all the stuff that I do, with my wife, 3 kids, my big 3, my Celtics broadcast, flying around, that I had a meeting with the Celtic brass, and I decided who was allowed on the float and not allowed on the float. Like, if you actually believe that, I feel really bad for anybody that actually believes that, or Kendrick Perkins is trying to recruit and say like that somehow I am in control of that. And by the way, I'm not going to go out there and post or anything. I have the text message screenshots of me and Perk, me saying, hey, Perk, I really would love for you to be there, man. This is going to be awesome. But I think you should reach out to Joe and just apologize. Just give him like a, hey, man, you've done a great job. I'm really sorry. And he, like, took that and he's making it like this. So I think it's a massive distraction from him to say, yeah, I called Joe Mazzulla a terrible name. I called him an idiot. And you can criticize what a coach does. You can criticize what a player does. Like, the general rule is don't call people stupid, and then don't go down that road. And because of that, and I don't know if he feels bad about it or he thinks that people are going to believe him, that he's now making this about me. It's not about me. This is not about me. And if anybody actually thinks this is about me, I feel bad for you.
Did you guys have a good relationship? What was your relationship like in the past?
Amazing. When I left Sirius and started at radio.com, I told the guy, and Perk, like, I told the guy, sign Kendrick Perkins up. The guy's, he's brilliant. And this is before he even like started doing the ESPN stuff. I'm like, this guy is amazing, and he works, and he gets up, like and then I also gave him advice, like, Perk, you know how to make it in this business? Do early morning radio, because early morning, most NBA players won't wake up to do it. You can like really separate yourself out. Like and by the way, like, why on June 18th, I have a text message from him. I love you, brother, man. Like, Ubuntu. I guess it's like, this is beyond ridiculous. And so, like, once again, I'm not going down this road of like going on Twitter and having this stuff. Like, I'm a grown man. It's amazing what this world has become and how Perkins thinks that this is like the best way to approach this.
Wouldn't it be weird for someone like him? Like, you're part of the team broadcast. Someone like him being on the duck boats would have been weird anyway, right? Like, isn't that like a non-starter?
I mean, the guy was a legendary player for us. He was the starting center on our team. We've never lost a playoff series with him. And I've never like wavered on this. I'm telling you, he's doing this to make it a distraction that somehow like I'm the reason that he's not invited to a duck boat or whatever it is. Like I'm being honest. Like, who in their right mind would actually believe that I have these conversations with people?
I wouldn't believe that. I didn't think that you were the gatekeeper of the duck boats or anything. But Joe Mazzulla certainly might be, as he's the head coach of the team. Did he hold a grudge over those comments? Like, we never really heard that from him. He didn't speak on it, but did he hold a grudge over that?
Can I just say yes? Because I don't like to talk about like private conversations.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I just say yeah? Like, it didn't go over well with Joe Mazzulla.
So,
especially, you know how inviting he was. Like, to hey guys, come on into training camp and all that stuff. So, like, it didn't go over well, but, you know, like, and by the way, like, you know, Joe Mazzulla has a lot of stuff going on in his life. Like, Kendrick Perkins at one point was on our air, and I had to explain to him that, like, Kendrick Perkins did not say that on our air, and he did not say that, like, it's not a representation of NBC Sports Boston. That's him doing what he's doing. and I had to smooth that over. Which even then, I still had Perkins back during that time. So this is you know what? Put it this way. Like I said, I'm not. You guys can ask me this question. I was going to do this call regardless, but people spending time on this and trying to create beef, it's beyond dumb. And you know what? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I didn't want my suit to get splashed with champagne. I got it. Everybody knows. I didn't play. I'm not on the broadcast telling everybody how good I was back in the day. I'm not telling everybody how good I was back in the day or my accolades or anything like that. I'm just reporting what I see and with my basketball knowledge. But yeah, it's so lowbrow to go down that road. So it's fine. I don't care, but I think it's nonsense.
Just to sort of close the door on this, two-parter, is it safe to say this is not salvageable between Perk and the Celtics as long as Mazzulla's around? And is your relationship with Perk sort of toast?
I'm good. No, I recognize that people can do whatever they do and have certain things in their life, and Perk can say, he can call me the guy that changed my uniform and make it he can do whatever he wants. I'm not going to hold that against him. I think he's really smart. I actually like him on TV. I give him a lot of credit for carving out a career in this space, which a lot of people are trying to do. No, I don't got a problem with him. I don't understand why he's doing this. I don't understand if he feels pressure. I have no idea why he does this, but no, I'm good. I would see him. I mean, I ain't going to be how I was before trying to help him out or anything like that, but he doesn't need my help. But I keep it moving with him. But as far as Joe Mazzulla, I don't know. I guess Joe Mazzulla reached out to Kendrick Perkins and said, can we go have dinner? And now it's all good. And somehow, once again, I'm the gatekeeper of the duck boat. And somehow everything was my fault and not his fault for what he said. Once again, I was critical of Joe Mazzulla. I don't like the 5-out offense, that first year. I didn't like the way we played. But I'm not calling the guy an idiot because of it. I just why don't we put a guy in the dunker spot? That's all fair game. But calling someone stupid is not okay. It's not okay. And the organization pretending to have open arms with you after you call the coach, who's, by the way, pretty bright, an idiot, is not okay either.
We're talking with Brian Scalabrine, NBC Sports Boston. Speaking of holding grudges, Scal, how crazy is Jason Tatum going to go tonight against Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors?
Man, I hope, did you guys watch? I've seen Jason Tatum a lot. What he did in that Atlanta game, it looked like he was playing against the 8th grade team when he was on the varsity team. It was a joke. And I hope that he just continues that. And, whether it's for Steve Kerr or we have our own beef with the Golden State Warriors from them winning the championship and all that stuff. But no, I hope that he just continues playing the basketball that he's played. And man, doesn't he seem, I don't know, maybe the championship or whatever, the offseason, maybe I don't know what happened, but he seems like a whole nother level of a guy. He's acting a la Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. He's acting like that level of a guy. So much bigger, better, the way he processes the game, the way he makes clutch shots right now. I'm really looking forward to this. And I wonder, there has not been a moment this year where I felt like he was overwhelmed by any part of the game. And we can go as far as last year and say, man, late in the game, Tatum did this or Tatum did that. There's points in time where you could have said, oh, Tatum could have been better here and there. I haven't seen a moment in which he didn't have complete control of the game at all times.
How good is this Warriors team? We look at the standings; they're 6-1, plus 17-point differential. Mm-hmm. How much of a willing foe are they tonight to maybe allow Tatum to put on a show?
Yeah, you know what? They're nasty defensively. I think everyone will get caught up in their shooting, which is good. They move the ball really well. Steve Kerr is, and I know he's public enemy number 1 today, but he in the NBA. When you get a guy that plays 8 to 12 minutes, right? Typically that guy, there's some, you kind of ease into the game, and then there's some pouting going on when a guy comes out. He's kind of cracked that NBA code of getting 10 guys. Sometimes he goes 12 when they get a big lead or whatever, but of guys playing hard, get really, really getting after it. And you got to watch they fly around just like the Celtics. They get beat, they rotate really well. I think Draymond Green has a lot to do with that, barking commands from the back line. But, they're amazing defensively, just like we're amazing defensively. So I think we have more. I think if you look at when we're at our best and they're at their best, I think we're still better defensively. We just have had some of those lulls in like the second and third at times, but our fourth quarter defense has been good. But no, this Warrior team is good. It's fun. And, there's the Steve Kerr thing, but also you get a chance to watch Steph Curry tonight, and all the antics that he brings to the game. And it's gonna be a great night.
So Steve Kerr has cracked the code to play 12 players in the NBA, but he just didn't crack the code to do it in the Olympics. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's 8 more minutes, and I mean, not to take his side. I think Jason Tatum, I think he didn't want to upset the players from the Western Conference to see those guys 4 times and maybe see those guys in the playoffs. But if there's a 40-minute game with a couple of days in between, as opposed to the NBA is kind of rapid fire. So he has cracked that code. And remember, injuries come into play all the time in the NBA. There's always guys sitting out here and there. So he's done a good job with this group, I would say. So far, he's done a really good job with this Golden State Warrior team.
All right, Scal, before we let you go, what is wrong with Grant Williams? What's his problem? What was that all about?
Man, I don't know. Like he tried to take accountability, saying I went for the ball. Like obviously,
go for the ball.
What that looked like.
Right.
Yeah, I just thought what? I like Grant. I like his family, his dad. Like I think he has a legacy here from all the community service he's done, and he's a great guy, man. I mean, he's a phenomenal person. That might have all got erased with one foul on Jason Tatum, and it was funny after the second game. And usually, there's a little drama. Think about it. We played the Charlotte Hornets back-to-back. He had to go through that second game. After the game, like no one was going up to him and dapping him up or shaking hands. I think the whole Grant Williams thing is it's unfortunate for him because I like the guy, but I think it's not a good position for him in Boston. But I will say this: we don't play them till the end of the year. I wonder if the crowd will spit Bedham the last 2 games of the season when we finally do play Charlotte again.
I would imagine. Probably won't be like it is tonight with Steve Kerr, but I'd imagine there'll be something for Grant Williams at the end of the season. Thanks so much for the time, Scal.
No doubt.
Always great to talk with you.
All right, sounds good. See you.
Brian Scalabrine joining us here on WEEI Afternoon.